This is the cockpit view as Ukrainian fighter pilot Vadim Voroshilov fires missiles from his MiG fighter jet. Aviators like him, he's 29, take extraordinary risks battling the Russians in jets older than himself. How many combat missions have you been on since the start of the invasion?
I have 77 combat missions.
77 combat missions?
Yeah.
One of those missions made him a Ukrainian hero. Voroshilov, who goes by the call sign Karya, in October took to the skies after radar detected near the central city of Vinnytsia incoming Shahed suicide drones like this one. Karya's orders: search and destroy. You have to see them to destroy them.
Our onboard radar system does not allow us to effectively destroy them. We need visual contact with them.
But destroy them he did. 5 confirmed kills, but at such close range, debris from the 5th drone smashed into both his engines.
The plane began to destruct. A fire broke out in the cabin. My ability to control the plane was lost.
He aimed his crashing MiG at an open field, away from a village, and then ejected at the last possible moment, recording this video as he parachuted.
There was plenty of time because I was flying from a height of about 4,000 feet. I took this photo to check my health because I was bleeding. And secondly, to reassure my comrades who were worried about me, whether I was alive.
Ukraine's president named him a hero of Ukraine. Now, as his country battles for the contested legendary city of Bakhmut and prepares for a counteroffensive, pilots like Karya take off on even more high-risk missions. Sorties flown just 65 feet above the surface to duck enemy radar. Karya shared with Scripps News rarely seen footage that he recorded in his cockpit. Right now in Bakhmut, are you able to offer any kind of air cover to your troops on the ground there?
We do go there. Like the enemy, we understand very well that entering the air defense zone means there's a high chance of being destroyed. We do work in the zone covered by their anti-aircraft defenses at extremely low altitudes. Flying at the lowest safe height above the terrain, we're able to get close to the front line. We not only risk their air defenses and aircraft firing at us, but also the banal risk of running into ground obstacles, such as power transmission lines. But our pilots are all experienced and know how to do this job.
Karya says Russian pilots, with their more advanced technology, can attack from further away and take fewer risks. He says a Russian pilot flying an Su-37 spots him on radar from more than 125 miles away, whereas his MiG can detect its foe from around 45 miles. Some Russian rockets can hit targets from those 125 miles, though the ones they typically fire have a range of around 50 miles. Ukraine's rockets...
I won't divulge the specific figure, but it's almost half that.
So flying low, the danger high, is the only option. You must get nervous when you're taking off to go on one of those missions.
Of course, during the preparation for the mission. But this nervousness is controlled. It does not turn to panic. From the moment you press the button to start the plane, it all disappears because the task is ahead and you need to be completely focused on it.
Ukrainian Air Force officials try to focus the public's attention on their highest hope, getting the U.S. to provide them with F-16s.
Currently, it's impossible to resolve the problem of the war with MiG-29 aircraft.
Wait, hold on one second. So you're saying you can't win the war without the F-16s?
We cannot win a war without air superiority. We need to establish parity in the sky. That is, we need to have the means to repel Russian aircraft.
The need to repel them becoming more urgent, Ukraine's Air Force spokesman says, due to a newly emerging capability. Russian warplanes releasing bombs that don't simply drop, they fly.
Today, they're using guided aerial bombs against us. This is a bomb that flies 70 or more kilometers.
That's around 45 miles, the edge of the MiG's radar range. An F-16's radar can spot enemy planes 184 miles away. With that in mind, Ukraine's Air Force rotates pilots out of the sky for, of all things, English lessons. Why right now in the middle of the war are you studying English?
Західні винищувачі.
We are waiting for Western fighters. We have great hope in our Western partners that we will receive them. After all, this is exactly what will help us speed up the victory.
What's more difficult, learning English or learning to fly a fighter jet?
In my MiG-29, I feel that's my place. Now, when I sit on the English lessons, I don't control all situation.
The gulf between an F-16 and a MiG-29 is like that between a new Ferrari and an old Ford Escort.
The MiG-29 is a fairly old Soviet machine
Машина.
where everything is completely analog devices and a huge number of toggle switches. In the F-16 cabin, everything is optimized, and as we say, everything is made for people.
Will you need to leave the country to learn how to fly them if you were to get the Western fighter jets?
Так, звісно.
It is necessary for training on these fighters, and that is why we selected a certain number of pilots who work in parallel, learn the language in parallel, and can be sent for retraining.
Well, do you have a simulator that you can train on?
Так, звісно.
Yes, of course we have mobile simulators, VR glasses, and everyone tries to spend as much time as possible with these simulators.
Для себе, звісно.
U.S. officials say they have no plans to provide Ukraine with F-16s. So for now, all Ukrainian pilots can do is make do. Have you ever been on a mission where one of the planes didn't come back?
Так.
Yes, I have been.
Квітень місяць минулого.
It was last April. We were in the Izium area where the enemy was accumulating large strike groups. During one of the missions, our Su-24 bomber aircraft did not return from the mission. He was shot down. The same with Su-25 planes and helicopters.
What's it like when you've landed and you're getting out of your MiG-29 knowing that you've lost one of your comrades?
Ну, це
Of course, we all felt despair when we were on the ground. You see, we have enough defense skills and competencies, but the technical obsolescence of our aircraft does not allow us to fully protect our colleagues from other types of aviation.
If you had an F-16, you think you could have protected that bomber?
так. Так.
Yes, and very effectively.
Зможемо.
After surviving, when his plane didn't back in October, Karya called his wife from the hospital. What did she say?
Я їй позвонив по...
I made a video call. The face was bandaged. I said, everything is fine. Everything is all right. She cried, and that was it.
After that, your wife didn't say, no more fighter jets for you?
Ні.
She fully and completely supports me, but she told me, please take care of yourself. I said, of course I will protect myself. But she fully understands that there is a war in our country, and we need to work.
Але вона...
We've been preparing for this all our lives in order to protect our country, and now is the time to do it.
Jason joins us tonight from Kyiv. Jason, you talked about this emerging threat from Russia, guided aerial bombs. What do we know about those bombs and also what Ukraine's Air Force can do about them?
Well, Chance, the weaponry continues to evolve. Now, Russia's not been able to use its bombers and to drop bombs from the sky because of Ukraine's air defenses. Well, that's changing. The Russians have figured out a way to get bombs that would normally just fall downward to go on an angle, to be guided towards targets that are about 45 miles away, and as a result, they're out of the range of the Ukrainian fighter jets, and this presents a real threat because the Russians have plenty of bombs. They haven't gone into their stores of bombs. They've, by some accounts, have gone through a lot of their cruise missiles and may be running low on those. And what I'm also being told is that these types of bombs, they're really difficult to shoot out of the sky. What they really need to do is to shoot the planes out of the sky, the bombers out of the sky, and they lack the capabilities to do that currently. If they were to get F-16s, that could help. Perhaps they'll be helped by getting these Patriot missiles, and the first Patriot missile battery has arrived here, but that's not going to cover the entire sky. They're not telling us, of course, where they're going to put that battery. But it's a new challenge for the Ukrainians if these begin to be used by the Russians in large numbers.
Yeah, it sounds like so many threats to think about and contend with. But in the meantime, we keep hearing about this spring offensive. It's springtime now. Is this coming?
Well, the predictions are, and what you heard people from the Ukrainian government saying is that it could happen at the end of this month, so really just in the next couple of weeks. But it may also take longer for them to prepare for this. This is really going to be a big deal when it's launched. And I think it really is a matter of when, not if. And they're waiting on more Western weapons to come. They need to refill their stocks of shells, of rockets, all those things, and to get more tanks. So will they hold out until they get more of those, or will they go for it? We just don't know, but everyone is standing by to see what happens, because this could really determine the future course of this war and perhaps even the outcome of this war. Chance?
The quiet buildup continues, the timing as yet unknown. Jason Bellini reporting tonight from the heart of Kyiv. Thank you.